Well, 164 for 4, it's tea and day 1, and we just can't figure who exactly would be happier, because an extra wicket just before tea would have probably tilted this in the balance. But what's it been like? Daryll, Cullinan and Sanjay Manjrekar with me on Match Point here on ESPNcricinfo. Daryll, first off, you kept expressing on how disappointed you were with the way the South Africans were bowling. Give us a brief on it with reference to each bowler, and I want you to really dig into Tahir.
Well, I think let's start with Tahir. I think Graham Smith has gifted India with a couple of runs. First day of the test match. He wouldn't be saying, look, my bowler's a bit tired, I've over-bowled them. I think it perhaps wasn't the time to really bowl him and give him a second or third spell. He's got 1 or 2 players off the mark, Rahane especially. Wouldn't you want to throw your pace bowlers at a new batsman? But I think everyone generally has bowled well. I think they're saying that maybe they lost a bit of their fire this second session. Perhaps 1 or 2 heads started to drop a little bit. But all in all, fairly controlled. I thought Philander was a bit better, perhaps got his length a bit better, staying consistent, tight there. But we've got to say that India gifted Graham Smith 2 wickets. The run out and Sharma's shot wasn't really on, it wasn't the length to be driving. But overall, talk about the bowlers, he's going to have to give them a stern talking to. South Africa have got to come out this next session with a lot more fire, a lot more intent, and revisit how they want to bowl to each batsman.
Well, let's see how the headmaster's little session goes in tea, but let's give you a status on the match first. So India did win the toss and ended lunch at 70 for 2 in the balance, and Kohli and Pujara restored that partnership. They ended 164 for 4. Kohli is the man of that session. You can see those numbers, 84 not out in very good time, may I add. And well, as far as the bowling is concerned, Manjrekar was threatening in that first session. It didn't go as he didn't look as threatening as the day went on, and we've got some wonderful stats to tell you how things change in Johannesburg as time goes on. Jacques Kallis has bowled a couple of balls that have gone over everybody's head, including A.B. de Villiers, and well, Imran Tahir doesn't even feature on that list, and rightly so. Cheteshwar Pujara, unfortunate to be out on 25 in a run out. Sanjay, let's get your thoughts, because the start of that session rather was Virat Kohli. Impressive with the way he just took off, and he doesn't look like he's going to get out.
Almost the perfect innings from a batsman, because there was the right mixture of defense and attack, good discipline outside the off, some leaving balls, and we saw some pull shots against spinners as well as against fast bowlers, and both were played with the same kind of dominance and conviction and instinctively. And this is the point I have with the short ball. You know, you could see that, you know, when a spinner bowls a short ball, the batsman is always quick to latch onto it. When a fast bowler bowls it, you are slightly, you know, reacting to it differently. But Virat Kohli had variety of short balls coming at him. Few he ducked, few he swayed away, but the ones that he thought were slow enough, short enough to pull, he went after it and looked such a natural puller of the ball. 2 terrific pull shots in this innings. And that, along with the 8 runs that you get with 2 pull shots, it also sends a message to the opposition that this is a ball that's not going to worry me. So suddenly a fast bowler feels that he's lost one little weapon that he's got to keep aside, and then start focusing on the line outside the off stump.
Mr. Cullinan, you were saying that you didn't expect Virat Kohli to do well.
I didn't, and apologies to Mr. Kohli, but he's only on 80. This isn't a match winning
innings. He's only on 80.
So, no. If India is an important stat here, that sides that have got over 300, 303 to be exact, have never lost here. So to get them there, I think he's going to have to play a big innings here, 150 plus. If he achieves that, this will be such a confidence booster. We've spoken a lot about what Indian batsmen need to be looking to do, not only them, but all batsmen, to play well in South Africa, and he's done exactly that. I can't recall, Sanjay, a bad shot where he's been reckless. The ball's gone past the bat, but in his defence he's been tight, and it's allowed to go past the bat. Good innings so far, but 80 is not going to win you the test match.
I can see you're apprehensive about it, but I must ask you, why did you think he won't do well? He's probably India's most talented batsman, or not talented, but definitely most successful batsman in the recent past. For the one day as an indication, what did you think would be his
I picked up on it earlier. I don't think he was quite playing getting onto off stump as much as he should be. Perhaps he does that in test matches, as I remarked. In one days, I didn't think from what I've seen from him. But he's left the ball well. He's done everything that we've suggested and spoken about. Who's going to give him the best chance? There's never doubted his talent. Let's be honest. I mean, he's a wonderful stroke maker. But this could be a career-defining innings. This, and if he pushes on, that's my question to you, Sanjay. Has he got the the mental fortitude to really push on
Yeah,
and
I
make
think
it
his
count.
career is more or less already defined. You know, I think the turning point in his test career came when he got that 100 against Australia at Adelaide, and before that a 50 on the Perth pitch. I think that's where he discovered this self-confidence to play test match cricket, and before that he had this run where people were quick to say that this guy is a flat track bully, one day cricket, not meant for test match cricket, and things turned around for him. What was interesting to see today was the footwork that Daryll is mentioning. He didn't have the same kind for all bowlers. The bowlers that were lesser in pace, people like Callis and Philander, he wasn't going back and across as much. He was looking to get forward a lot. And the guys who were quicker, Morning Morkel, there was that back foot movement, but always looking to get forward. It's such a great sight to see these batsmen looking to get forward, because we've watched a lot of cricket recently, the Ashes series, and there you can see all the English batsmen reluctant to get forward. So it was great to see Virat Kohli, Pujara as well getting forward. But the big disappointment in that session for me has been Rohit Sharma, because a guy with tremendous self-confidence. And we've seen indiscretion from Rohit Sharma. We've seen him play these loose shots, the big shots, and get out. But I thought that was only in one-day cricket, because there is that obligation almost to attack a lot. After seeing his 200s, I thought that discipline that he has is different in Test match cricket. So a bit surprised with that ambitious sort of big shot outside the off stump. The stage was set for him. Kookaburra ball had gone soft. India was on top, long partnership broken, and bowler slightly getting tired. He'll be kicking himself in that dressing room.
Yeah, there were two elements to that Rohit Sharma wicket. One was the fact that he played a loose shot. The other one was that Vernon Philander finally got one in that area and that range where he forced the batsman to drive, and that's how Vernon Philander's got all his wickets. If you've seen him in the past. Speaking on that, just take a look at where Vernon Philander's bowled today. Daryll, I think the first remark you've got to make it, if he's got that wicket there, you could see the white ball just there. He's just bowled 3 to 4 deliveries ahead of that or that length. Is he missed a trick, or what's going on? Why is he not bowled that length more often today?
I think it's going to be a discussion point for him, the captain, the team analyst, and they've probably got that very same graphic that they'll look at and decide that perhaps Vernon should get it up there. But I'm very hesitant to talk as a bowler because I wasn't one. But having listened to a lot, it's such a small margin, that fuller length. And if you're not confident about that, you'll always err on getting it back of a length. And I don't think he's that confident at the moment. And it comes back to when what we may be playing a role is he's not seen the ball do much. And that's his strength. And now suddenly that's not the issue. Then you perhaps drag it back a little bit, you try and do things differently. Or it could be a communication thing with the captain. He hasn't got defence in terms of the covers, cover in, to give him the confidence to bowl it fuller. But I just sense that he's not quite as confident as he has been in the past.
And also it's interesting, we thought he was bowling, it clearly was on the shorter side, and there should have been more balls in that driving length area that Rohit Sharma, played the drive and got out. But we also saw where he was pitching against Australia. I think we also have a pitch map where against Australia, when he got wickets, it seemed like he was bowling fuller, but it wasn't. This is the length that he bowls. So I think what's coming out from the lengths that he's bowled is the reaction that's happening with those lengths. On this pitch, it just seems short, because this pitch surprisingly doesn't have the kind of zip that you would have expected. So that was one thing going in favour of India. Once the bowlers got tired, there weren't too many wicket-taking deliveries coming out of this pitch, by just bowling the channel, which the South Africans love to do. So really Rohit Sharma's wicket was the big one, because this is a guy who's got a couple of hundreds and capable of playing a big innings. Attacking player, 2 attacking young batsmen, big partnership. South Africa would have been out of this test match.
Yeah, we saw Graham Smith's reaction. You remarked about it when they got Sharma's wicket. That reaction was, sure, I'm pleased about this. Not only being the batsman, but he was under pressure there. And now with his bowlers, he's now got to decide this hour after tea is going to be for both sides, but particularly for Graham Smith and his bowlers. They've got to make sure exactly what they're going to be coming out and doing. Does he turn to his spearheads? And with new batsmen, the times to attack, he can't go to Tahir. He's now got to look at Morkel and Steyn. They've got to come out now in the next hour till the close of play. He's got to turn to his senior bowlers, and those who've got the best chance of getting wickets. They need to get in here. I think they need to climb in.
Yeah, just before we talk a little more about Virat Kohli, because this was his session, quick in defence of Rohit Sharma, Sanjay, how hard is it for a batsman to find the bloke at the other end, look comfortable, play shots, and it almost seems like it's an easy place. Does that sometimes make the new batsman, does that carry him away in order to play shots, or does a professional test cricketer need to have more discipline than that?
He would be disappointed. I mean, you can understand the frame of mind. He's going into that innings with the confidence of 2 test hundreds. He's got the game for it. He's seen his young colleague, get some runs. So his confidence is high. And then he's gone after a bowler who's looked the weakest link in the 3-seamer attack. Same length against Mockle or Dale Steyn, he would have perhaps shown a little more respect. And there's also this other thing that Rohit Sharma will have, Virat Kohli will have, is that you just can't keep defending. They've seen Murali Vijay, Pujara defended for a long period of time, but in the end, they've got a 20 and a single-digit score for Murali Vijay. So these are batsmen who will also look to attack, keep telling themselves, don't just sit there blocking balls. So that was perhaps the idea when he went for that shot.
Yeah. All right, let's move back to the man that pretty much stole the headlines in this session. Virat Kohli is looking more and more comfortable as time goes on. Now, if you just take a look at some of the numbers we've got for you for Virat, that's his innings so far: 84 for 113 with a strike rate of 75, almost 75. And 14 boundaries. Daryll, this illustrates the point that you were making earlier in the day. You see out that first session a little bit, and you don't even need to run. You get a lot of runs and boundaries.
Well, with the ball getting a bit older and softer, we spoke about it's coincidentally at that sort of time. It is a ground that you'll be rewarded with patience. You will have the opportunity. A lot of fielders behind the wicket, the gaps in front of the wicket. That tells me that his shot selection has been superb. I mean, you striking at 74, you striking above 15 Test cricket, you're a good scorer. So, and again, I'll say this, that it's a ground where things can turn around very quickly. Mm-hmm. Don't be surprised if South Africa suddenly bowl India out. This is why Mr. Kohli, it is in South Africa career-defining innings. When I hear you, Sanjay, thank you for correcting me. If he goes, I'm telling you, I'll put my head on a block. If he goes on to get 160, sure, it's going to be difficult.
You've doubled that. You've doubled that power in one go. Not even 100, 160.
160. I'll go so far as to say India won't lose the Test match.
Okay, but just looking back at that stat that we saw, 7 boundaries through square leg and mid wicket. It's testament to the fact that he's played that short ball and that hook shot or pull shot well.
Yes, and Rahul Dravid talked about it. We are harping on this getting forward thing, and he was doing it beautifully right from the start. He knows he has a tendency of pushing at balls. You can see the moment there was one occasion when he was sort of reaching for the ball, you can see that he's telling himself, don't go for it, try and meet it under his nose. And every time we saw the slow motion from side on when he was playing the front foot drive, you could see the batting crease and you could see his front foot way down the pitch. Yeah. Now that is something that is a hallmark of a top class batsman against a fast bowler. I'm not talking about Philander or Callis. He was doing that even to Steyn and on occasions to Mockle. Tendulkar, we always use him as the ultimate example in batting. People talk about his straight drive and how good he was, and you would wonder what actually made Tendulkar very happy or feel very proud of himself as a batsman. One little thing, and I know for a fact because he's also discussed that with me in the room and things like that, is when a fast bowler is bowling and he's pitched a ball up, and if he's gone well down the pitch, big stride forward and defended it, he would actually stay there for a while just to show everyone that your fast bowler means nothing to me. I've gone well down the pitch. And he also wanted everybody else to have a look at it, because that is something that made him really proud of himself, that I've gone well down the pitch. I've got that good stretch forward to play a fast bowler. That was what made him really happy about himself.
Was that something that made you happy? Did you play to Mifa, or was it when you played a spinner and you got that ball just in the middle? You had your times against spin that you don't remember fondly.
No, this is music to my ears. I'm loving this because I spend my time working with kids and coaching young kids, and that's one of the key things. And I hear coaches, I won't mention his name, international coach, saying footwork's not important. It's the shift of your weight and getting your hands there. And to me, if I think of Tendulkar, Lara, to me, they use the crease, a Callis, Ponting, they used the crease so well. They were forward and back, but I just love that idea of look at me, look where I am, a good striding. And as I say to youngsters, your defence is your form of intimidation against a quick bowler. You say to him, get through this, look at my footwork. It's not about 6-4 and mouthing off. It's get through this. And if you speak to fast bowlers, they'll say that's the most disheartening thing is when you see a guy and you got a guy like that. Now it's Tendulkar and he's gone, there, have a look at me, get past that. It's got to break your heart.
And also the pull shot, fast bowlers don't like a batsman playing a pull shot because he's counter-attacked you and made you look like a fool, but it's how you play it as well. The pull shot that were played looked like, very natural, instinctive pull shot. Some people would just want to posture and show that, I can handle the fast ball and play the pull shot, may also play it. But they're not convincing pull shots. Ricky Ponting, when he plays it, they look very convincing. Rahul Dravid, when he played it, you could see that it was his basic game, his sort of release shot, as we call it. Saw the same with Virat Kohli today. Yeah. Great to see.
All right, fantastic stuff, boys. Quickly, let's just update you on where the match stands because we're almost out of time here. 164 for 4. Ajinkya Rahane with a quick fire 12. Needs to be mentioned that he got a couple of gifts from Imran Tahir, as have most of the batsmen today. But Virat Kohli, 84 of 113, and you've heard Daryll and Sanjay's thoughts on almost how perfect that innings has been. Though Daryll Cullinan's a hard man to please, he still wants Kohli to get at least twice those number of runs, and if he does, then that could take India to 300, maybe 400. And that would probably put them in a good position. As far as South Africa's bowlers are concerned, Dale Steyn, 15 overs. He's bowled well, but I think India have played him better than you think. Jacques Kallis has struggled. Moni Morkel picked up the early wicket of Murli Vijay, and Vernon Philander with a wicket just before tea. Imran Tahir still to look threatening, and he's going to give us talking points either one way or another.
Let's be honest. A lot of Indian fans were expecting the worst one day when India batted first on a pitch like this. Looking at this score, you've got to say that that's a tremendous performance because nobody was expecting this young batting lineup to bat this well on day one, batting first after winning the toss. So
I love the panel that I've got. I've got one man who's saying this, nobody's expected this, he loves the batting lineup. There's another one who says South Africa could bowl India out in the next session.
Don't be surprised. They'll be thinking one more wicket here, anything can happen with Dhoni into the tail.
Ashwin's been one of the most reliable batsmen in recent times, but I get your point.
But there's a lot of pessimism. All I'm saying is when it came to Indian batting, South Africa with the kind of preparation, a lot of pessimism going around, but I think that has been diffused a bit.
Yeah, well, so they've seen out the big threat. If we are to just going back to what the guests have been saying all day, the Wanderers does get easier to bat on as time goes on, but it's a funny ground, it's a funny pitch, and things could be different at the end of the day's play. We're going to catch you at that very time. We'll see you at Stumps here on Matchpoint. Do send in your questions for Daryll and Sanjay via Twitter. You could join us with #Matchpoint and your question, and Sanjay and Daryll will be around to answer them at Stumps. Until then, I'll be back with Daryll and Sanjay. We'll keep Kohli's score specifically in check and put the first question to Daryll as soon as we're back. Until then, enjoy the cricket. Goodbye.